If you've been receiving Social Security or veteran benefits and checking your bank account every month wondering how you're supposed to stretch those payments to cover everything, you need to stop what you're doing right now and listen carefully. Something massive just happened in Washington that's going to put serious money back in your pocket, and this isn't another empty political promise or some complicated program with endless forms and requirements. The Senate just confirmed a policy shift that's going to deliver an extra $2,200 to millions of retirees and veterans, and the payment schedule has already been set. This is real, this is happening, and if you qualify, you need to know exactly when this money is coming and what you need to do to make sure you get every penny you're entitled to. Before we dive into all the details about who's getting this money and exactly when it's hitting accounts, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates about your benefits. The Social Security Administration has been under immense pressure for years to address what many economists and policy experts have called a growing crisis in retirement security. Millions of Americans who paid into the system their entire working lives have been struggling to make ends meet as inflation has eaten away at their purchasing power. The cost of groceries, utilities, healthcare, and housing has skyrocketed while benefit amounts have barely kept pace. Veterans who served our country have faced similar challenges, often dealing with unique financial burdens related to their service. The Senate's recent confirmation of this major policy shift represents the most significant expansion of benefits we've seen in decades, and it's specifically designed to put substantial money back into the pockets of those who need it most. So what exactly is this policy shift and how did we get here? Over the past 18 months, a bipartisan coalition in Congress has been working behind closed doors to craft legislation that would provide immediate relief to retirees and veterans while also addressing long-term sustainability concerns about the Social Security system. The breakthrough came when legislators agreed to tap into surplus funds that had been accumulating in a lesser-known Social Security reserve account, combined with adjustments to how benefits are calculated for certain high-income earners. This isn't about cutting anyone's benefits or raising taxes on working families. Instead, it's about redistributing resources more equitably and ensuring that those who contributed to the system throughout their careers receive adequate support in their retirement years. The $2,200 payment that's generating so much buzz isn't a one-time stimulus check like we saw during the pandemic. This is actually the first installment of what will be ongoing enhanced benefits for eligible recipients. The way the program is structured, qualified individuals will see a significant boost to their monthly payments going forward, with the $2,200 representing a combination of retroactive adjustments for the current year and the initial enhanced payment. For many retirees living on fixed incomes, this represents a game-changing increase that could mean the difference between struggling to pay bills and actually being able to enjoy their retirement years with dignity and financial security. Now let's talk about who qualifies for these enhanced payments because this is where things get interesting. The program is specifically targeted at individuals who have been receiving Social Security retirement benefits or veteran disability compensation for at least 12 months as of the policy's effective date. There are also income thresholds designed to ensure the money goes to those who need it most. If you're a single retiree with annual income below $50,000 or a married couple filing jointly with combined income under $75,000, you're likely to qualify for the full enhanced benefit amount. Veterans with service-connected disabilities rated at 30% or higher automatically qualify regardless of their other income sources, recognizing the unique sacrifices they made for our country. The timing of these payments is something everyone wants to know about, and the Social Security Administration has released a preliminary schedule based on the existing payment distribution system. If you currently receive your Social Security benefits on the second Wednesday of each month, you can expect your enhanced payment to arrive on that same schedule starting with the next payment cycle after the policy takes effect. The same applies for those who receive payments on the third or fourth Wednesday. Veterans receiving benefits through the Department of Veterans Affairs will see their enhanced payments deposited according to the VA's existing schedule, which typically processes at the beginning of each month. The $2,200 initial payment is expected to start hitting accounts within 6 to 8 weeks of the policy's official implementation date, with the Social Security Administration prioritizing those who are currently receiving the lowest benefit amounts. What makes this policy shift particularly significant is that it addresses several problems simultaneously. First, it provides immediate financial relief to millions of struggling retirees and veterans who have been hit hardest by inflation. Second, it includes provisions for automatic cost of living adjustments that are more responsive to actual expenses faced by seniors, particularly healthcare costs, which tend to rise faster than general inflation. Third, it establishes a framework for future benefit enhancements without requiring major tax increases or benefit cuts for other groups. The architects of this legislation spent considerable time studying similar programs in other developed nations and incorporated best practices from around the world. For retirees who have been postponing necessary medical procedures, putting off home repairs, or skipping medications because they couldn't afford them, this money represents more than just numbers in a bank account. It represents peace of mind, improved health outcomes, and the ability to live with dignity after decades of hard work. Veterans dealing with service-connected health issues will have additional resources to cover expenses that aren't fully covered by VA healthcare, including specialized treatments, mobility aids, and home modifications that can dramatically improve quality of life. The ripple effects of putting this money into the hands of retirees and veterans will extend far beyond individual recipients, boosting local economies as people spend on necessary goods and services they've been forced to defer. There are some important things you need to do to ensure you receive your enhanced benefits without any delays or complications. First, make sure your direct deposit information is up to date with the Social Security Administration or the VA, whichever agency handles your benefits. Outdated banking information is one of the most common causes of payment delays, and you don't want bureaucratic red tape holding up money that's rightfully yours. Second, keep an eye out for official communications from these agencies explaining the policy changes and what you can expect. Unfortunately, whenever there's news about increased government benefits, scammers come out of the woodwork with fraudulent calls, emails, and text messages trying to steal personal information or money. Remember that neither the Social Security Administration nor the VA will ever call you asking for payment to receive your benefits or requesting sensitive information like your Social Security number or bank account details over the phone. If you're currently receiving retirement benefits but you're unsure whether you meet the income requirements for the enhanced payments, you can check your eligibility by reviewing your most recent tax return or by contacting the Social Security Administration directly. Their customer service representatives have been briefed on the new policy and can answer specific questions about your individual situation. For veterans wondering about eligibility requirements related to disability ratings, the VA has set up a dedicated hotline and online portal where you can verify your current rating and understand exactly what benefits you qualify for under the new policy. The political dynamics that led to this policy shift are worth understanding because they signal a potential new era of bipartisan cooperation on retirement security issues. Traditionally, any discussion about Social Security benefits has been politically toxic, with both parties afraid to make changes that might be used against them in elections. But the economic pressures facing retirees reached a point where doing nothing was no longer politically viable. Lawmakers from both parties recognized that millions of their constituents were genuinely struggling, and they found common ground in the goal of helping seniors and veterans maintain financial stability. The fact that this legislation passed with strong support from both Republicans and Democrats suggests there may be additional enhancements and reforms on the horizon as policymakers build on this framework. Looking ahead, policy experts are already discussing what comes next for Social Security reform. This enhanced benefit program is widely seen as a first step rather than a final solution to the challenges facing the retirement system. There are ongoing discussions about raising or eliminating the cap on wages subject to Social Security taxes, adjusting the retirement age gradually for younger workers, and creating new savings incentives for people who don't have access to employer-sponsored retirement plans. The success or failure of this current policy shift will likely determine the political appetite for more ambitious reforms in the coming years.